Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Batman Urban Legends Volume 2 trade paperback. As always, we're talking about a little bit of the story, the art, and if it's worth your purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look in front of the book. I was going to say dust jacket again, but trade paperbacks don't have a dust jacket. But this is what the book looks like. The side, or the back, excuse me. The back, the spine, and then the back, sorry. Alright, now let's take a look at inside the book. Now, what is this book about? Usually what I like to do when it comes to overviews of books, I do like to talk about the story that's inside of it, just a little bit. But unfortunately with this one though, it's difficult to do that because one, it's going to be a long video, which I'm sure no one wants to hear that. Because the way this book is set up is that each character, character, has their own little short story. So there's a story within Tim Drake, the Batgirls, you got the Outsider, you got Batwoman, Azrael, Nightwing, and so each one of them has their own little story, and they're all compiled into one book. So quite a few characters on here, with each one having their own story. Again, some of the stories are shorter than the others. So I will say this though, my favorite stories is going to be this one, The Outsiders, Batwing, the two themed stories for Nightwing and Tim Drake Robin, the Batgirl, and Batwoman. Those are my two favorite ones, so I'll talk about a little bit of each one, but again, I won't go too into detail because, again, you have a bunch of stories on here into one book like this thick. It's gonna be short, and if I just give you the plot of one of them, you're gonna know right away what's how it ends. But anyways, this one's mainly really simple. It's mainly about the Outsiders. We got Metamorpho, Black Lightning, and Katana. They're actually getting attacked, and the reason so is because the soul of Katana's husband is lost, and so this person wants to know why. Where's the soul of her husband? And I'll leave it like that because if I keep saying more, it'll spoil it. But what I like about the story is the banter between Metamorpho and Black Lightning. Their chemistry is really fun, and I liked it. And it got me engaged with it because I want to see what else happens not only within the story, but with them too. They're pretty fun, so that's what I like about it. In terms of the Batgirl story, the Batgirl story is mainly going to be about. It's a short story, but it's mainly of someone kind of messing around with Batgirl's technology. I'll just say it like that. And so she's kind of fed up, like, hey, who the heck is messing up with my system? I created it, what's going on? And that's what the story's about. Again, it's a really short story, but I gotta say, though, that Batgirl story is actually pretty fun. Like, it's short, but sweet, and I dig it. I really dig it. Here you go, we got the Batgirl story. I dig it, because, again, it shows how Oracle is adapting to her environment and doing also her investigation skills. So, and that's what I like about it. It's a short story, it's quick. Again, it's one little, like, maybe 27 pages long. It's a short story, but it's fun, though, and I dig it. Now, the Batwoman story is a little bit longer, but it does include about her sister, Beth, or Alice. Red Alice, I believe that's what they call her. And basically, it's mainly about how a character, which I'm not going to say any names, but character gets accused of murdering someone, so Batwoman has to go out and investigate. And when she's trying to reach out to the other members, she notices no one's responding, like, what's going on? And that's what the main story is about, is kind of figuring out who is behind all of this, and like basically taking over Oracle and kind of resolving that issue. Again, it's a pretty short story. It's probably one of the longest ones, but I like it because it does talk about more of Beth, or Batwoman's sister, and the relationship and kind of like the background and what's going on with her. And again, I don't want to say too much because I'll spoil it, but overall, I really dig it, man. It's really weird sometimes, but it's fun though, and I really dig it. The next two books that I like is going to be the theme ones. I won't say too much about it because if I do, it's going to spoil it because they're really short stories and they're just one-shots. And so it's going to be themed, and what I mean by themed, they're Christmas themed. So if I say anything about it, you're probably going to know how it's going to end. So those are really good, they're really fun, but I'll just keep it like that. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. So overall, though, in terms of the pacing itself, they're pretty quick. Some of them are a little faster than the others, but the pacing overall into this entire book is fairly quick, and I can't complain. In terms of the art, It looks good. It looks clean. I dig it. Nothing really stands out like holy crap. The only one that does have some weird art and unique art is going to be the Batwoman story. That probably has like the most creative art. But apart from that, it's cool. It does have that matte paper, which I dislike, especially when they're reading that Batwoman story, because there's some art on there where, like, man, if it had that gloss paper, it'd really pop and really shine. So overall, though, the main question, would I recommend it? It's kind of tough, because on one hand, I do like some of the stories. On the other hand, some of the stories are just whatever. Like the Azrael story, whatever. Batgirl, whatever. The Batwing, which is a cool story. It's short, but it's kind of like, you read it, you kind of get the point, okay, and then it ends, and that's it. So it does have some cool stories, though, like I mentioned, and just discussed and shown. But if you were to ask me, would I recommend getting this one? Personally, I would just say, maybe skip on this one. I mean, I've read Batman Volume 1, Urban Legends. I honestly don't see a connection on here between that Batman Volume 1 to Volume 2. It's just stories, so I'm hoping that Volume 3, because I have not read Volume 3, does connect all of these stories and maybe Volume 1, but so far for this book, though, honestly, there's no connection between the Volume 1 one, so I'm kind of torn, because I want to say, yeah, I should read it, because some of the stories are cool, but others are just whatever. Like, you read it, and you'll be like, okay, that's kind of cool. All right, anyways, and so, if I want to be honest, though, the question is, would I recommend it? In my opinion, probably not. I mean, if you can get this on sale for a really good price, and maybe, because the retail price for this is $24.99, so if you can get it for a good sale, maybe like 50% off or more, then I would say yeah, jump on it. But regular price, no, not even like 40%, man. I think to me, this is one of those books where you can get it at a really good discounted price, definitely worth it, like 50% or more. Anything less than that, I just don't see the value to it. It's cool, but it's whatever. It's one of those things where some of the stories are cool, and like I said, some of them are not, so that's just my honest opinion regarding Batman Urban Legends Volume 2. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Do you plan on reading this book? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the support channel, to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Batman Urban Legends Volume 2 trade paperback, and on to the next one.